Hey, what's up and welcome everyone to a new Warzone video. I got something special for you here today. Typically we do gameplay reviews and obviously drop some bombs in game like with the 37 bomb yesterday. But today we're doing a meta commentary talking about all the weapons in Warzone and where they fit into the tiers of this tier list. Now, we're assuming at the current meta and for the average player up to the competitive player, all guns fully kitted with the right attachments, the ammo conversions, everything. I got this idea from my buddy named Burger. I watch his content on YouTube and on TikTok. He's a super nice guy, makes really quality content, great guides as well. And I'm commentating over this with my buddy Exact. We've shouted him out in the past. One of my best friends in game and IRL. Love the dude to death, and he makes some of the most unique guides that like you did not know that you needed to know. His movement's insane. He's one of the best tourney players in the game. So I'm gonna have both of them linked in the pinned comment. Go show them some love for supporting this content on the channel. And let us know as you go through this video. And as you see, we're talking through everything. We are like picking the weapons apart as to why we placed them there. I could have made this, a 5-minute video and it's been like, here's, A, B, C, D, E, F. We are drilling through this and really explaining why they do or do not belong in the current Warzone meta. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Drop a like on it if you do, because this is something new to the channel. So if you enjoy the style of content, let me know. If we get anything blatantly wrong, we're going to be making some adjustments as the tier list goes on throughout the entire video. If we make anything blatantly wrong, make sure to let me know down in the comments below. And who knows, we might have to revisit this. But right now, I'm feeling really good about the list. Hope you guys enjoy this. If you want to be involved in this type of content, make sure to follow me over on Twitch. Without further ado, enjoy the tier list and try not to rip me apart too hard in the comments. Enjoy. Okay. All right, sweet. Back it up. AK, decent, but it's better than this Cold War AK. Or, I hate that there's two. Modern Warfare AK's hits like a truck, but it's got a shaker and isn't as viable at mid-range. So AK. AK-74U.
This one is what do you think about the AK-74?
It's like the meta gun in Cold War multiplayer. I haven't ran it in I've ran it in Warzone at the very, very beginning when we first started playing Warzone. I'm leaning towards A tier.
Really? Okay. I haven't used it a ton. But yeah, it's obviously like super meta in Cold War. It felt pretty good in this game. Obviously, like the handling as a sub isn't as fast as like some of your other options, but it definitely can hold its own. So I could see it being like a high B or like an A as well.
I think that's good. I think high B. You're onto something there. Amy. We already know. We already know. Statistically, one of the best time to kills. Recoil's tough to control, but with commando foregrip, it's not anything ridiculous. I'm sorry, this is like tourney gun S tier, no questions asked.
Yeah, I agree, man. Like you say, recoil is bad, but if you throw a T-pose on there, you kind of get familiar with the gun. It beams so well. It's a tournament. Like there's a reason so many people in these tournaments rock it, dude. It's
for sure.
S tier.
AN94, have you used it?
I have, and I'm down for this to be our first C, but what do you think?
What? You serious? I dropped my PR with this gun.
Wait, did you really?
I dropped 38 with the AN.
What?
Yeah.
No shot.
I was gonna put it in A possibly.
Well, I only say this because it hits decent, but the issue is I feel like the fire rate isn't that. It's like kind of awkward kind of a fire rate, and like especially in current meta now, these guns shoot so fast that it's like you're getting beamed before you even have a chance to break someone's armor if they have a decent shot.
That's
like
true.
A one-on-one.
But it really has that. For me, a lot of times I feel like I get the first little shot off because it does like the.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the very first ones are super powerful, but I would take an AN in my hand over any of these three guns. Well, I don't know, because like the green AK silenced on the ground was pretty nasty mid-range. Like it would slap. But there is, what was that orange thermal with the Electra? Remember that? The one that had like the purple thermal scope?
Yes. Okay, so that one was pretty solid off ground loot. Yeah, yep. We can we could always toss it in B and then if we move it around, but I guess I could see like a low B for it.
I like it more than the Cold War AK.
Do you? Then you decide, because like I said, I haven't used that gun at all.
I'm biased because I got the...
I know, you're letting the 38 leak in right now.
I got dropped 38 with it.
Hey, just because you're nasty doesn't mean the gun is nasty.
Fair. AS Val.
Now, I say this gun is really, really good. Obviously the mag is its main drawback,
right?
Which makes it really tough to use in like encounters where if you got multiple guys, you pretty much don't really stand a chance unless like you kind of have a way to finagle yourself and finesse a little bit to reload.
Not a great quads gun or trios gun, but solos and duos, banger.
I think it's really up there. In those two playlists, I think it's up there definitely. The damage is really, really strong.
A tier?
I'm down. I'm down to throw it in
down.
A, 100%.
I'm down.
Let's do A.
Modern Warfare AUG. So the fully auto SMG. And it also has a 5.56 conversion. So we'll just assume max loadout, because that's how I would build it. AUG 5.56.
Yep.
Slow aim down sight, but statistically one of the fastest time to kill guns in the game.
I've definitely used this one before, so I've used it a good bit. I think it's definitely... obviously, I know we're throwing a lot in B.
I know. Chat's saying C tier. Have you guys used the 5.56 conversion? It's a laser. It's got a pretty clean iron sight too.
That is true. The 5.56 makes it, to be honest.
Base? No. 5.56? I would rock it over the AKs. Wouldn't you?
Yes, agreed. 100%. I guess the only drawback would be what this gun probably can't like do. It's probably not good. Like it's probably good. What, close, maybe tiny medium.
Yeah. What is the 5.56 conversion mag size? Like 30 or is it 60? Or it's like 50.
I don't think it's 60. I'm not sure, but I definitely don't think it's 60. That sounds like a lot for it.
Okay, I'm putting it there. I like it.
Okay, I'm happy with that.
Cold War AUG, current meta.
Current meta, I think we have to throw it S tier.
Yeah, it's insane.
Sure.
Ooh.
Go ahead.
But it's a little awkward because it doesn't give that satisfaction. Like when you are beaming with the AMX and you get it pulled down just the right amount, it sticks and you fry your opponents. But this kind of like clicks off target. If I had to pick a tournament, I don't know if I had to pick a tournament now, would I run the AMAX or the AUG? One of the nice things about the AUG is the damage per bullet. Like you can two burst and kill someone. Whereas like an AMAX, I feel like I'm at least putting 15 bullets down range.
100%. Which is why the AUG, because both guns have really good damage, like you say. Obviously the AMAX is probably better for longer range fights. But overall, I think the AUG has that special ability that allows you to kind of bail out of situations that the AMAX doesn't.
That's crazy.
So I feel like in current meta, it does overtake the AMAX, honestly.
Oh, that hurts to do. That hurts.
I know.
Because if you hit a single headshot, you can have the rest of the upper chest, and it'll full wipe.
100%. It's really good right now. It's so good right now.
The ASS 50.
Well, I'll let you go first. You're the sniper. Hit me with it.
Dude, there are some people that absolutely frag out with it, like Pomage. I think Bartonall just really likes it. There are some guys that go off with it, but bullet compared to the other snipers, bullet velocity isn't as good. Aim down sight's like marginally quicker, but I feel like I get hella no regs with this gun.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. I think C, in my opinion. I'm not a big fan of the gun. It's clunky. It's kind of weird compared to the other snipers that are a lot smoother. And like you say, man, you either get like weird regs or like you have to hit them so many times that it doesn't even matter. So I'm happy with C.
All right, sick. Bison, Modern Warfare.
I like this thing, man.
So do I. But I feel like we're gonna have so many B tiers. I think we might need to be harsher on like some of the AKs, because I'm leaning towards B instantly. Definitely not A or S, but it's good. I'd run it in a heartbeat.
Very solid. Yeah, it's super solid. Even the one in ground loop back when you would find the silence one in Superstore, I was happy.
Yeah, and it's 64 round default.
Yeah, clip size is nice. It's pretty decent on damage, especially if you're hitting your headshots. I think it's pretty solid. Close.
Right there, right behind the AK or above the AK. Actually, don't even know if I know the AK well enough. Wait, no, there is one AK-74U on the ground. It's the field agent. It's the one that has the Hawksmoor, the square red dot on the ground. It's like
yep.
That one kind of hits. I love that gun.
Yep, that one's pretty solid.
Bison kind of shoots marshmallows in comparison to it. I think I'll keep
I would keep it behind it.
Yeah. Bruin,
Definitely.
current meta.
Ooh.
See, yeah, we're gonna have to knock some. I think we're gonna have to knock some people down because Bruin isn't A tier for me, but maybe it is. It's super low A tier or really high B tier. It's got a super slow aim down sight. Obviously, we're thinking 60 round 5.56 conversion. Slow aim down sight, but an absolute beam. It's still really good.
Yeah, and then what is it? What is the mag you can rock that reloads pretty quickly? Is that the
60 round? Mag? Yeah, the thing that like pops out the side.
Yeah. Yep.
Movement is terrible though too. Yeah.
True, but that at the same time, it's like if that's the only thing you're sacrificing, it's like, and everything else across the board is pretty solid.
Yeah.
I agree. It might just have to be like a low A.
It won't be your like run and gun, so you need to have a mobile SMG. But yeah.
Definitely, I could see it being an A for sure.
Bullfrog.
All right, I am a huge fan. I think the Bullfrog is a super sleeper.
Dude.
It's a super sleeper.
Same.
I'm down to give it a low A, honestly.
I
really
might put it above the AS Val though, because it's got a larger capacity.
Okay.
The headshot damage is insane. Like it beats the Mac 10 if you get headshots involved.
Yep. Ridiculous, man. I can agree, and it's incredibly mobile, dude. You move so fast.
Oh, really?
You fly with that thing. You build it the right way, you're flying, man. And if you're hitting your headies, you're pretty much untouchable close range.
Above or below AS Val? What do you think?
Or just like you say, the mag size, I would put it above, just because I even think it's viable in like quads. Honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
So I would put it above it for sure.
DMR. I heard it recently got a buff. Apparently they were supposed to like make the recoil even worse, but they made the recoil less.
Sounds about right. I'm down to throw it in A, honestly. We all know how nasty that gun is and how long people
But is it still S tier? Like a low S tier? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, true. It could probably be a good loadout in this meta, honestly. Not bad. Especially if like the recoil isn't too bad, because I'm sure it doesn't take probably like 3 shots. You're accurate.
Do we need to make like an AA tier and then like just not even have a D tier but an F tier? I don't know. We'll see. I think it's low S. Isn't Rated still running it in tournaments?
Him and Aiden both were. I don't know what they use now, but they both were on the DMR way for a really long time. So I'm down to give it a low S. I think honestly.
Yeah. Dragunov.
I think that's a good call.
Easiest one of the day.
Yeah, just go ahead and get her down.
Yep. There. EBR. Throwing her down there too. Yep.
Get her down there.
Done. Thank goodness we got some. We have a baseline now. The 45 on the train chat. Resubs. Little 57 train.
Yeah, I'm happy with those.
Yeah, 100%. FAL. I still like this gun.
I think it's solid. Even as a secondary too. Up close, I mean, I've been using it a long time, but if you got a trigger finger, or especially after, it's really good on mouse and key probably.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, the fire rate's pretty solid, damage is solid. I think it's definitely a pretty decent gun.
What do you think?
The only thing is, in this current meta, think about this as well. Like we were talking about, how fast these guys. So in my mind, I'm trying to compare it to these other guns you could be using.
Right.
So if these other guns have really, really good TTK and are just automatic shooting really, really fast,
right,
it's kind of hard to keep up with your trigger finger to outgun them unless like you are on point. It's gonna be really hard to use it.
I'm really tempted to do this.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with all those decisions, honestly. If we're talking current meta, I'm okay.
Yeah, I still really like that ground loot. I mean, We'll see. We'll see how the B tier builds out. But yeah, I don't think it's C tier. It's still really viable, but it's not something I would go out of my way to pick up.
Exactly.
Farah, I think it's D or C tier. Like it's
bad. It's get her down there.
Yeah, you could build it into a close range. It's got great time to kill, but
that's so.
It's such a shaker, man. Yeah, it's like C curve, like it's. Yeah. I don't know if I'd call it D tier. I think I'll call it D tier. Honestly.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Honestly.
Finnick.
I feel like you run into a similar issue as the Val. I think it's a good gun, especially up close. Medium though, medium range. I'm not sure how strong it is, but obviously that mag, dude, is just killer, man. It's brutal. It's really, really tough.
Yeah, I'm thinking high B or low. I mean, I've gotten smoked by it.
True. If you're in a building or like close quarters, it's a gun that's like can delete you, like evaporate you.
Right.
So, but it's just like it's a gun that's very situational. I think it's hard for me to say A, honestly. For me, it's really hard for me to say A.
But I think it's the best. Like I would pick up a Finnick extended mag over any of these guns in B tier. Like this would be my first gun to pick up. If I had a custom Finnick in front of me, I would pick it up for my close range weapon over any of these other guns.
Yep, agreed.
Yeah, okay.
Agreed.
FFAR.
We already know where that thing's
dude
going.
I think it's the best gun in the game right now.
100%.
I think according to Warzone metrics or like Warzone data, I think it's the best gun of the game, or the most used gun of the game too.
Yep.
Great, dude. The favorite thing about it, Raider stock combined with the what's that barrel? Takedown barrel? Is that what you use?
Yep. I rock the takedown.
Zooming.
You're flying, man. Like on top of it, like doing like really, really good damage. You're strafing at the same time, which allows you to have movement in your gunfights. It's super mobile.
Yep.
You can even build it to like even be a primary to shoot like even farther. So when it's pretty versatile, dude. It's extremely versatile.
I love it. I love it. It's so frustrating to die by it when you don't have it. Like if a squad of 4 rolls up on you with FFAR AUGs, it's terrifying.
Yep.
But I don't get as frustrated dying to the FFAR as I do the DMR or the AUG. Something about it feels fair.
Yeah, definitely. It's been one of my favorites for sure this year.
Finn.
I haven't used this gun in a really long time.
It's nice because it has really limited recoil and it can feel like an absolute laser. Chainsaw is kind of a meme too, but perpetual terrible. Like no matter what it is, you're gonna have a super slow reload.
With that being said, then I'm down to even. I think C.
Because I wouldn't mind using it, but it's like this hurts to use. Far actually hurts to use. F is like I'm not even touching you. C is like you're good. See, it's not like the PKM where it takes a long time to reload, but each individual bullet slaps. The Finn fires extremely fast. It's the M13 of LMGs, but it's got a slow reload.
Yeah, the M13 of LMGs. I like that. Yeah, I agree.
FR556. The FAMAS.
Yes. Okay, so it's down there, but at the same time, the secret to this gun that I found out is rocking it single fire. I don't know if you've ever tried that before, but if you rock that thing single fire, it's actually not too bad. Obviously, can you use that in like anything other than solos? Maybe duos you can get away with it. No.
Is this a cap chat? Is Z onto something?
All I'm saying is you could definitely try it in solos, but again, in any other mode where there's like, it's just not gonna hang, man. So I'm down to say, I don't think F. I think you can pick it up and throw it on single fire. I'm down to say D. I think it's even better than the Farah, in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah, I'm telling you, the cheat code for the gun is rocket. If you throw on single fire, the triple burst is awful. It's terrible. If you throw on single fire, it's a beam. It's really good.
Or I feel like I feel like I picked up the pink tracer one and hit some nasty shots with it. Okay, just for the fact that there was an incredibly broken underbarrel, I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna put it in D. You remember the underbarrel shotgun days?
Yep. Hey, that's what it was at here.
All right, I think that's fair. I'll give it to you. Growl. This is A or S tier for me. Cleanest iron sights in the game. Super fast reload. 60 round mag. Good handling. Good mobility. 0 recoil.
Yep.
Like it might be low S tier.
Yep.
Current meta though, I've been seeing a lot more of it. Current meta.
Have you?
Yeah, I've been dying to it a lot recently.
For me personally, current meta, I would say A+, just because it, like you said, everything across the board checks off, except it's a couple bullets behind being really, really good. It's just a couple bullets.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right.
Behind being really, really good.
Groza. I like the damage it puts out, but the side-to-side recoil is like the biggest shaker I've ever seen. Yeah.
It's tough. I haven't used it a ton though. I'm not gonna lie, I have not used it too much in this game. It's definitely, in my opinion, it's definitely not an A. If we're gonna be kind and throw it in B, it's gotta be at the bottom, but I would definitely see C too.
So like with all of these guns, AK, it's got like a shaker, like a little side-to-side shaker, where it kind of like the AMAX has that command of foregrip, like horizontal bounce is what you would call it. The Groza actually has like a sweeping S curve, and it's like if you're shooting at anything farther than 10 meters, it's strafing off shoulders. Like the AK, if you aim center chest, it'll be like chest, left shoulder, right shoulder, chest, left shoulder, right shoulder. Groza is like chest, door on the left, door on the right.
True, you're covering everything when you're shooting that thing.
HDR.
Hey, that used to be your baby.
Yeah. So she's still super good. But aim down sight's a little slow. It's only really good for power position plays. Like you can play aggro with it, but against like when you're getting tapped by the AUG, you're getting headshot flinched off.
Yep.
I think it's a great A tier weapon, but it's no longer S tier.
Agreed. 100%.
Holger.
This one I don't have a ton of experience with either, unless it's literally off the ground.
Yeah.
And even then, I haven't used it that much off the ground.
Kind of a hit marker machine, but almost no recoil. Pretty quick reloads.
True. I think I kind of do. I agree. If the bullets were a little bit more, I would be down to say B, but I'm also down to say like IC, simply because of the faster reloads and the ADS.
I think I would rather have a Fin in my hands than a Holger. Like I would rather have a kitted Fin with a good secondary weapon than a Holger. What about you?
Okay, I can agree with that for sure.
All right. ISO. I don't even remember this gun. I remember it came out and I made some clickbait video.
Right.
A new SMG?
And there's probably a reason you don't remember it.
Actually, I'm pretty sure like it was so bad that I didn't even make like I didn't even say like new SMG is insane. We're like Warzone's insane SMG. I think the title was like, does the ISO belong in your loadout? Like something super.
Okay.
And then the video analytics was terrible, because in the intro I'm like, hey, what's up guys? Got a new SMG. It sucks, but there's still gameplay in the background of me playing with it, but it sucks. So like there was like a drop off, dude. I can look at my analytics and everyone is like, oh, it sucks. All right, I'm not watching this gameplay. See ya.
Exactly. That's not even one you could clickbait. That's when you know. I'm down to say D. Because if you can't even clickbait it and pretend like you can even use it until like, that's when you know, man.
Yeah. Hey, it's not bad. Like, it's not like I'm not touching the gun, but yeah, it's disappointing.
Car 98.
Put her up there.
I say put her up there, man.
Yeah, dude.
I say that's an S tier sniper in my opinion.
Quick scoper's dream. One shot headshots, pretty fast reloads, old reliable.
Yep. Very mobile.
Yep. Solid S. I mean, if I'm rocking tourneys, I'd rock the DMR over it. But if we're including like solos, trios, and just the average player, like Car 98's S tier above that for sure.
Definitely, 100%.
Not as good as Amy though.
No, not quite. Amy's still doing her thing.
All right, Old Faithful.
See, now this is the one I don't know about in this meta because I haven't used the kilo in a really long time. What are your thoughts?
I see people using it, and the biggest thing about the kilo recently is that I got nerfed where the long range damage drop off. So it used to have, you know, it's still got 0 recoil, none of its recoil has changed, but the damage at range is now taking a lot more bullets to kill.
Okay.
I wonder how that compares now. I haven't looked at a TTK chart comparing that to the Growl.
That's a good point. Honestly, just from how the Growl feels for me, I would probably have the kilo maybe barely beating it.
Yeah?
Because even a Growl at range, if you think a Growl at range, like that, I don't even think a Growl at range is very good. So if that's the only thing they nerfed on the kilo, I would say the kilo probably outbeams someone.
That's true. I think I saw Tommy drop like a 30 bomb or something with the kilo, saying it was still pretty nasty.
Okay. There we go.
All right. TikTok's been yelling at me about the Krig. They're saying it's insane. They're saying it has 0 recoil. JGod put a video out on it today, I think.
Ooh.
TTK better than Growl. Weaker than Growl. Growl is better at range. Thank you for the consistency, chat. JGod in chat himself says it's not good.
What's that, the Krig?
The Krig.
Hey, dude, that's the only opinion we need right now.
Yep. All right. So, like, C tier not good. JGod, you tell us exactly where on this list it goes. B or C? I'm gonna put it C because I hate Cold War optics, especially with guns like this. Like if I have to rock a 2x automatic, for some reason, like the 2x on the DMR doesn't bother me that much, but like rocking scoped on automatic Cold War guns is really jarring. Like I don't know if you shot a stoner and it's just like the scope is like screaming in your face the entire time.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. I'm down to say C, like you said. I've rocked like the 3x on it before, and I wasn't even. I've used the Krig a couple times, and I feel the same way. I just don't think it's up there.
KSP, new SMG. I literally know nothing about it.
Same. This is mine. Like I have like no
zero clue. I'm just gonna say it's probably pretty bad.
Yeah, I feel like we would have heard something. You know what I mean?
Right.
We would have seen a TikTok somewhere.
D tier, it's bad. KSP is F tier trash. F. Least used gun in Warzone.
Well,
screw it. I'll throw it an F for the boys. LC10, new SMG. Is it you or is it Joe that's been rocking this a lot? I think it's Joe.
Joe uses it a good bit. He said he kind of liked it. He said he definitely liked it. I haven't used it a ton, but I picked it up off the ground, obviously, and it felt like decent. You know, like I obviously like not super good. It kind of reminds me, kind of similar to like a bullfrog kind of vibe, maybe.
Yeah, whenever I picked it up off the ground, there's the poison dart on the ground that has the red dot. That's pretty nice. S tier for the headshots. Oh, it's got a really big headshot multiplier.
Okay.
But then we're talking like A tier might be like Mac 10 range. I don't know if it's that good.
Yeah, I'm down to say high. One of the higher Bs.
Would you take that, or if I would take a Fennec over an LC10?
Same, but I maybe would take it over the AK-74U.
Ooh. You would?
Just because the AK-74U, have you rocked a sight on it when you've used it in a loadout or no?
That's the field agent. That's the AK-74U is a field agent on the ground. It's like 40 round mag.
Okay. Well, then I guess I mean, they're probably pretty interchangeable right there. I would definitely say it's better than the Bison though, and anything past that. As far as, I don't know, as far as damage, I think. But again, I have not used this gun a ton at all.
A gift for you.
I'm with you. I'll give the benefit of the doubt over the AK just because it's new. M13, the hit marker machine. Dude, I saw Cloak running tournaments with this gun. It's got a higher headshot multiplier, absolutely 0 recoil.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like a high B gun. I would definitely rock it over every single one of these guns. I would pick up an M13 over every single one of these guns.
Sure.
Except for maybe the AN94. I think even so, just because it's got absolutely 0 recoil. I think I would take a Bruin over an M13 though.
Yep.
It
Definitely.
just feels
I
like
think the highest B spot is a really good spot for it, to be honest.
M16. I hate it on the ground, but assuming it's kitted to the teeth. I mean, statistically, it is almost as good as the AUG. It just has a worse recoil pattern.
Right. Which I think if the AUG's an S and it's just, it's barely kind of lacking behind, I'm okay with putting it in A.
Yeah, when I'm hitting it on the ground, like if I hit people with it, there's I think it's called like the Sandstorm or something. The one that has the what's the M16 on the ground? All right, either way, there's one on the ground that hits pretty hard. I hate putting an M16 over an HDR, but I think it's true.
Yeah, it's hard, man. It's
Sandtrap,
hard,
that's its name.
Yeah. It's hard because they're like kind of different categories too, but I think the M16 is pretty solid.
And it's fully kitted off the ground. The M16 is kind of cheeks, but if you fully kit it out, it is significantly better than the Kilo and the Grau right now, which hurts to say.
Yep, definitely.
Old school M4. It's better than the M13 for sure.
Yes, 1000% so. 1000%. I think the M4 is pretty good, man. It's like, depending on if you want to rock like a sight on it, like a VLK or something, or you just go iron sights.
Right.
But even iron sights, man, you're moving. It still hits very solid. It does. The recoil is not too bad on it, in my opinion. I think M4 is a pretty solid gun, man. It's a pretty solid gun.
I think it's at least on par with the Bruin. Would you take a Bruin over an M4?
I would probably take the Bruin or M4 over the Bruin just for the fact of, like you say,
Mobility.
they're neck and neck and its mobility.
Yeah. But it's not as good as the Kilo or the Grau.
I'm probably going to say something crazy, but I think it definitely is better than the Grau. But I could be crazy right now. But I also have a bias that I do like the M4. I will rock it.
Same. Hey, I also have some nostalgia. That's like season 1. Remember Ironsight, M4, and like the MP7? I got a little bit of a nostalgia trip on it.
Exactly.
XM4, bouncy. M4, laser.
Yeah, 100%. And that too, I think the only way we can figure out between that and the Kilo, I don't know which one would beam better at medium range. I feel like they're got to be close. It's got to be super close between those two. It's tough to say.
I'm good with that. I think the Kilo is a little bit better.
I'm down. I'm happy with that.
M80. Super slow reload. Shooting cinder blocks, though. I hate the scopes on these, man. The scopes are...
Yeah, dude. I mean, yeah, if you're a super slow player and you just kind of are down to like hang out, which is fine, and you're hanging out holding an angle, I'm sure you win a lot of fights. But if you ever if you kind of come into an interaction and it's time to ADS, any gun is going to out ADS you. Like you just don't stand a chance.
Yeah, 100%.
I think D is.
D,
I think D's a pretty good
it's not worthless, but it's pretty ugly. M82, slowest aim down tight, super slow bullet velocity. I've seen some people using it as like a close range loadout, and you can like 2-shot people to the chest. But like if you're shooting a sniper once, the second someone's screen turns red, they're bolting, they're moving, they're gone.
Yep. I'm down to say F, man. I don't know about you, but I'm down to make it kind of like pointless to pick up, in my opinion. Like I would literally grab anything else, I think.
Yeah. All right, M91. I actually kind of like this gun, minus the mobility.
Yep. Same. I think it's pretty solid, man. I'm down to say like C-ish, high C maybe, or like
high C. I might have to revisit those AKs. I would take it over the Krieg, probably the Finn and the Holger and the Groza. Only reason
It's
I like
pretty
these
good.
AKs is because of mid-range. That's the only reason I'm looking at those AKs like that.
Yeah.
But I think that's... I see so many poorly built AX50s that I don't like it. But I've only used the M91 as ground loot, and it's nasty.
Yeah, that one, the silencer, you can grab that. That one was very good. Pretty solid.
All right, Mech 10.
Have you been like using it still in this meta, or how have you been rocking with it?
Yeah.
I mean, I still think it's probably S, man. It's probably still S because I'm sure a lot of people still rock it as a. It's probably the best sub.
Yeah.
You know,
Really clean iron sights, fast reload, super fast rate of fire. You burn through ammo pretty quick with it though. But super good mobility. It's crazy that an AR beats the best SMG in the game.
Isn't that crazy to think about, man? An AR is like the best sub in the game.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's definitely weird, but I could.
Is it better than the DMR? I think for the average player, it is.
Agreed. For like, if we're talking overall average, I think so too. I think an average player has a lot easier time frying with the Mac than they do the DMR. A lot easier.
All right, once again, assuming all of these are fully kitted, MG34. I'm going to wait to hear what you say on this one.
I'm trying to even think, what is the ground loot ones that you pick up? Like, what does it look like?
There's a green, and it's got like two kind of like thick boxes on the left and right, and then a really thin needle. Obliterate. It smacks. Now you got to reload for 15 seconds.
If the reload is bad, I'm assuming you're probably super slow with this gun.
Oh yeah,
turtle pace.
But fully kitted might rock some sleight of hand on there. I don't know. I would say. I know I can get at least 2 kills and 2 thirsts with an MG34 before I have to reload. And by that time, I'm picking up another gun. But I think I would take an MG34 over a Groza. Even a Holger. A Holger is kind of a hit marker machine. At least the MG34, you can completely like surprise someone and demolish them.
True.
Yeah, it's the slowest movement in the game. Okay.
Well, okay.
But I wouldn't mind using it. Like, you use the MG34 to get one of these guns above it.
Right. It's hard to say D, man. It really is. If it is D, it's definitely the highest D because I'm taking it over any of those.
Yeah. I don't think it's D.
I'm okay. If you want to say like super low C, like one of the lowest C's, that's fine.
All right, so
That's good.
Milano, was this shadow buffed or am I tripping?
Really, you've been liking it here as of late?
I love it off the ground.
I will say I'm not the biggest fan simply because obviously mobility's there, it's a sub.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good. You can have really clean movement with it, but overall, man, it's just so, I feel like if the fire rate was a little bit faster, I wouldn't mind the TTK as much.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't. But it's like when you kind of lack when the fire rate is a tad off and the TTK is a tad off, it makes it really tough.
Lowest C or highest D?
I mean, I would say, I'm trying to think. I definitely would probably use a Groza over the Milano. Let's be honest.
Really? Yeah.
I think so. I think I used the Groza over the Milano.
That's true. I'm pretty much picking up anything else over a Milano.
Yeah. It's pretty tough, man. It's bad.
It's bad. It's bad. Okay. Mark II, it's worthless. It's so bad, bro.
Yeah. Even though I actually do, I will say this is
I kind of like it.
It's fun, bro. It's a fun gun to toy around with in like solos or something. But of course, like you have no use for it other than having fun.
No. It was a great gulag weapon. I still think it belongs in the gulag, but outside of that, yeah. I think just for the finesse, I would take it over an M82 because you can like kind of like bob and weave as you're hitting little headshots and stuff. But yeah, it's F tier. It's bad.
100%.
Cold War MP5. Did you ever find a class that you liked on this?
No. So I toyed around with this gun a lot.
Okay.
Because Doug was like preaching, man. This thing is nasty. But the only thing I don't like is obviously it beams is good, but the recoil is just weird.
Agreed.
It's kind of
I
weird.
have to rock an iron sight. I have to rock a red dot sight. It's the only way I can get this gun to work for me.
Yeah, but it's still like up close. I think it's still good. I'm down to say low A.
I agree. Would you rock it over the bullfrog?
I don't think so.
When I got the iron sights right, I was frying with it. I almost considered running it in tourneys, but it can't handle the far mid range, kind of like the Mac 10 can, because this gun doesn't move. This Mac 10, this MP5 almost has like the AK issue where it horizontal bounces. I like it.
I think it's I think you got it in a good spot. I think you got it in a super good spot.
I think Modern Warfare MP5 kind of right in the same spot.
Yes, it's still okay. I'm glad. All right, so I actually just used this one.
Really?
Yes, and it was very viable. Obviously, we're kind of our perspectives are different now because the Cold War guns are so much faster in movement wise. The Cold War or the Modern Warfare MP5 is still very, very good, man. It still holds its own for sure. I like it in A.
Because it never really got nerfed hard. It's just new guns that came in. Because like if you look at it, it used to be the meta, Mac 10 dropped, now Mac 10 is better. It never got worse.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a good spot. MP7. This is either super high B or really low A. I love this gun, but it's a hit marker machine. It's the M13 of the SMGs.
Dude, it is, man. It is. It's a really, even with like the best build, like you say, it's definitely got good range. That's what it's got going for it. So it's got better range than subs. But overall, like you say, you're gonna hit a lot of your shots, man. Your shots gotta be on point with this thing.
Better or worse than the Fennec? Comes with a 60 round mag. I think a Fennec only comes with like a 50, and the per bullet damage of the Fennec is lower, but it's got a faster fire rate.
Take it over the Fennec just because it's better in more situations and scenarios than the Fennec is.
I like that. Good old Odin.
This gun, hey, this is a sleeper. This is a sleeper.
Sell me on it.
Okay, so obviously, I know everyone's gonna say the Odin shoots super slow, man. It's terrible.
Yep.
But and then all the recoil's insane. But if you do build it for like a solid ADS build, and if you throw like a T-pose or something on there, that thing's a beam and it hits like a truck. We're talking like 2 to 3 bullets. It's obviously the mag size is still not incredible as well. Do I think it's a quads gun? Maybe not, but trios, duos, solos, I think you can get away with using it.
I was thinking C, but after that, like I would definitely use it over an AK. I would use it over both the AKs.
I know a lot of people like to hate on it for its qualities, but overall, man, if you get the right build, it hits, man. It's pretty decent.
I would use it over the FAL most times too, because it's basically like an automatic FAL.
Yeah,
like.
I agree.
Okay.
I think that's a pretty good spot for it.
P90. It's also like the M13 hit marker machine. Definitely not as good as the MP7, Fennec, ISO, Bison.
Yeah, the closest comparison, I agree. Maybe it's gonna be hard to say Bison, but Bison in that one, I think they're both like right there neck and neck together on how they perform.
I think I would take a Iron Sight P90 or a kitted P90 over a kitted Bison.
I agree. I would probably do the same.
Maybe, yeah, I just don't know the damage numbers close enough to really compare them. Pellington. I don't know where the bullets go. I don't.
Yeah.
I have some of the nastiest clips in the world, but I don't know where the bullets go.
I don't know where the bullets go, but I know where that should go.
Yeah.
It's down there. That thing is down there, dude. Even if I feel like your shot is good, man. I've had so many times where I hit someone in the head and it doesn't even break their armor. Or I hit in the head. Like, it's like, dude, I don't even know. It's just hard. That gun is not very reliable, in my opinion, at all.
No. PKM. Hits like a truck. Crazy fire rate. Long recoil, though. I think it's better than the M91.
Yep.
And I've got some people that are going to be screaming passionate A tier. Me and my squad use it. It's the best gun in Warzone. I just can't.
Yeah, I can't put it up there. I can't. But like you say, you throw a T-pose, a side on there. Fire rate's super solid. It hits like a truck, but that reload time is just really, really tough. But all aspects, man, it's kind of like it's a worse Bruin.
Yeah.
It's a worse Bruin.
But I'm still pretty sure I'd run it over the AKs.
Yes.
As long as I have a good SMG with me, I'd run it over the AKs. I'd run it over the Odin too.
Yep. I would run it over.
Would you run it over the AN-94?
I would.
Yeah, I think I would too.
Oh no. I definitely would.
Would you run it over the M13? For the mobility, I don't think I could.
The mobility hurts, but obviously, yeah. I mean,
if you're posted up, I want a PKM in my hand over an M13.
True. But if you think about it, I guess, yeah, if you're running around the map, obviously mobility, but even then it's like fights with an M13, I just don't think you're going to be challenging guys very mobile with the M13 because you have to hit more shots than they have to hit.
That's true.
That's tough.
Super low A?
It
keeps climbing on me.
I know. The more you start thinking about it, you're like, yeah, it's actually not that bad. Obviously, we're not huge LMG guys, but if you are an LMG type player and that's kind of your play style, it's very good, man.
I'll put it there. QBZ, people are raving about it. It's I keep comparing everything to M13. Very little recoil, feels good off the ground. It feels like a lot of hit markers to me. Not a bad gun. But I would run it over the AKs. I think I need to push AKs down. I keep digging on the AKs, and I just...
I know. We're using like I feel like the AKs where we don't know where they should be, we're using them as like a place marker for everything else.
Right.
Or like a benchmark for everything else.
Okay, so AKs are now the best of C tier. I know statistically this AK is good, but it's just a shaker. I think AKs are C tier. Okay, so QBZ. Nowhere near as much damage as the AKs, but it's not better than the Krieg.
I haven't really used the QBC maybe like once or twice, but I definitely don't see like the Krieg being better than that.
No, it's better than the Groza for sure, in my opinion, because I hate the recoil of the Groza. I can't touch it.
Okay. Yeah, that one's all you. You probably know way more about that one than me.
All right, I already know how you feel about this one, so I'm just gonna throw that up there. Yep.
Get it down there. No, get it down there. Nah, the Rams. Whoa, hey, careful.
Yay, it's good.
Hey, I need a very good explanation of how this thing is an S.
Okay, it's not S tier by any means, but if you can control the recoil, it is statistically better whenever you're hitting limbs than the AMAX. It's only got a 50 round mag, so that hurts. Recoil is a little tough to control.
Right.
I would take a Ram over a Kilo.
Okay.
I'm super biased, though. I've got a lot of nostalgia with this gun.
I know. You basically put the Ram you put the scene onto the Ram, let's be honest.
I think so.
You were the main person that I know early on that championed this gun before anyone else did. It's good, man. Yeah, the Ram is good. I've never used it with the only thing is I've never used it with a sight. I've always used it with a sniper like iron sight. But even then, dude, it's still incredible. Really good damage. Obviously, recoil is like it's not the best, but it's also not that bad either. So I would say it's an
time to kill. It stomps these three guns, but the average player may not be able to hold the recoil. And to say it's better than the Cold War, to say it's better than the MP5, for me, it's definitely A tier, but I think that makes more sense for the average player. Definitely better than the AS Val, better than the Bruin, in my opinion, better than the PKM, because you still got the mobility, insane fast time to kill up close, a little bit of a shaker at range.
Yeah, I'm happy.
But it's a consistent shaker, like it's like up to the left. Every other gun is just like straight up. You can just control it. But it's not like, you know, shaking all over the place or an S curve or anything. How's that? I like that.
I think it's in a good spot, man.
How about that? How about that? Bring the cold, because I think the Modern Warfare MP5 still deserves some credit. It's still an awesome gun. I would say it's better than the M4 or the Grau. How about that? I think that's good. I think that's good.
We'll rock with it.
I think so. I think the Modern Warfare MP5 is better for most players than the RAM.
Yes, I agree on that for sure. I don't know, dude. That's gonna be the most controversial gun in this, man.
I've got all my loyals. I've got all my loyals in the chat though that are like RAM all day.
Loyalty is strong on that one. We'll let it ride.
Yes, RPD.
I
hate this gun.
I'm not a big fan. I'm gonna be honest.
Hate it, bro. And then all the scopes that they have on it have like this really bad bloom. It's like this red circle with a red dot, and it's just like I can't do it. I hate it. I hate the RPD. I loved it in Cold War. Hate it in Warzone.
Not a fan. It's slow, sluggish, reload. The TTK doesn't feel that good. For it to have all those negatives, I feel like you got to be like beaming, and it definitely doesn't. So
I would use it, but yeah, it's either super low C or D tier.
I agree, 100%.
I don't think it's in the same tier as like an ISO though, or Milano. I don't know. It might be in the same tier with the Milano. Did you see that clip though with an RPD when I was hitting my shots? I literally quad wiped an entire team just by shooting down one doorway.
Yes. I mean, I'm okay with it being C. I wouldn't put it in D.
Rytech.
Oof.
Cheeks.
I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest.
Cheeks.
I mean, there's not much. Literally, that's all you need to say. Cheeks. That is a honey bun sniper rifle right there.
Yeah. It has the explosive rounds, which it can just kind of be a meme, but outside of that, like, it's not as bad as the Dragunov, but it's cheeks.
Yep. Agreed.
SA-87. I just kind of like this gun.
It's not bad. It's not bad. I feel like damage is pretty solid. Obviously, movement's a little bit slower, but it's not too terrible, man. It's not too terrible.
I don't think I like it as much as the M91 because that's obviously got 100. They feel like they shoot the same damage to me.
Yeah.
But I think I would rock an M91 mainly because of the 100 round mag.
True.
Thoughts?
They're kind of intertwined right there, like you said. I don't think the SA-87 deserves to be in D. I think somewhere in C is a good option for it.
How delayed are you?
I'm not sure. You're like moving it up and down right now.
Just say, tell me when you see my hand. Damn,
now.
Okay.
Now I'm super far behind.
You're like, yeah, a little bit. Scar.
Ooh. This one is another kind of sleeper, man. Obviously the mag is tough, fire rate's tough.
Right.
If it's a C, I don't know if it's that low, man, because it kind of hits. And if you, again, a lot of these guns get saved by the T-pose site. This T-pose site like makes or breaks it. Obviously, this gun is not that good. Like
the mag is what kills me. What the largest mag you can get on the Scar is 30. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's got one of the best time to kills outside of the fact that it has a terrible mag.
Yep. And I don't know, how does it do at range though? I don't know how, like, if you're on top of a building, like shooting at someone, you know, at a decent distance, I don't know what kind of like, how it's going to be as far as a beam or damage wise, especially with the mag too, man. It's tough. But again, like a mid-range AR, I think it does hit really, really hard.
B tier?
If we are going to say B, I'm definitely down to say like probably one of the lowest Bs, if not the lowest, for sure.
Okay.
100%.
SKS.
I'm not a fan of this gun.
It has a really, really ugly bounce when you shoot it, but statistically, you can two-shot headshot with this gun.
Really?
It's slept on. It's like OG DMR levels of insane almost.
Really, with just I'm guessing unbearable recoil.
Yeah,
Unless you can build to help it?
it's the shaker left and right whenever you shoot it. I think you can 2-shot headshot people with it, but that's about it.
Yeah, I don't
3-shot
think
headshot for the SKS. Okay, well,
I will be honest. Me personally, I probably wouldn't. If I ran across one, I probably wouldn't pick it up because I just know that there's not many situations it's going to be too hot, and especially if it's already got bad recoil, and if you think you're getting beamed by someone, it's kind of throwing you up a little. It's going to be really hard to hit those headies.
yeah. And
Really
on
hard.
top of it, the reason why I'm gonna put it here, or maybe I'm gonna put a super low C, is because I know if you fully kit it out, it can be a decent gun. It uses sniper ammo, and that's a killer. Because you are going to be tap firing this thing a lot, and you can only carry, what, 42 sniper rounds or something?
Yep.
You're going to burn through it instantly.
That's true. That's actually a really good point.
SPR. Child of the car and the HDR. It doesn't really know where it wants to go. It's kind of in between both of them.
It's tough. I don't know if I want to give it an S. It's good though. It's actually really good. It's hard. I definitely think A range, obviously 100%. I'm almost. What do you think? Would you take the SPR over the HDR, or how do you feel?
I know a lot of people love it because it plays that hybrid role. It's a faster bullet velocity than the Car 98, but it's got a slower aim down sight. But it's a faster aim down sight than the HDR, but slower bullet velocity. So it's like the baby between the Car and the HDR.
True. It's tough. I think it's a good gun. I think it's a pretty solid gun. It's hard, man, between that and the HDR. It really is. I like it more than the HDR a little bit more, personally, but that is kind of like a little bias.
I know I have my HDR bias, but I think people like it. I think the general community is the SPR is better than the HDR.
I think so,
which
too.
hurts my soul a little bit. Stoner. This gun is nuts.
I think it's pretty good, man. Strafe is nasty on even the ground loot one, man. Strafe is very good. It's gross. It does a lot of damage. I could see it being an A.
Yeah, better than the Bruin and the PKM for sure. I used Bobby's Stoner, and first time touching it, I dropped like 25 kills.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's kind of disgusting.
Yeah, I'm down to give it an A.
Mid A with cavalry nerf. Did it get nerfed a little? Slow reload speed, true. Bad mobility. Well, I want to say bad mobility, but that strafe is nasty.
Yeah,
Stoner got nerfed. Stoner got nerfed. Okay. People are saying Stoner got nerfed and it's worse than the Bruin.
Really?
It's not better than the PKM. Actually, I don't know, bro. I've seen some people fry with it, but if people are saying it got nerfed, I'm not tracking that.
What is the reload time? Is it super slow or no?
Yeah, it's a belt feed and it's about 5-second reload.
Okay. I think most people are gonna say they don't. I'm assuming the overall, like, people who play the game probably don't like strafe weapons as much, especially if they're using an LMG.
Yeah.
They probably are more. If someone's rocking an LMG, they're probably rocking it for the purpose of kind of being sturdy, high damage, a lot of ammo in the mag, kind of posting up. They're probably not agile, looking for like a strafe speed in it at all.
Right.
But I do think it's good. I like the strafe speed for it. But maybe, yeah, I guess it could be. We could put it behind the PKM.
This little group right here, Bruin, PKM, Stoner, would you put that above the M4? The damage is better. It's just a mobility.
It's just the mobility factor. True. It just comes down to like.
Pissed. Chat's saying no. Dude, do not ever. No chance.
Well, it's like even in quads, man. It's like you just never want to get into a situation where you're stuck reloading.
Yep.
Because then you're done for at that point.
Yeah. I agree. If you're You're never going to find a position where you are laying out 200 rounds of ammo and you run out of ammo. But you are going to run into situations where you need to reload and the timing's going to kill you. So yeah, I think you're right. Striker 45.
Get her down there, man. It's another one, dude.
I don't know if it's worse than the ISO. I think it is the least played gun.
It's tough. It's tough. Fire rate, tough. Damage, tough. I don't know the mag size for it. I don't know the biggest mag you can have. But regardless, man, it doesn't matter how big the mag is if you can't kill somebody.
So bad, dude.
You can have all the ammo in the world, but if it can't do anything, it just can't do anything.
Striker over ISO. Yeah, I think I pick up Striker too. All right, Tundra. So the kicker for me, I think it's got better bullet velocity than the HDR. I think it has slightly faster aim outside the HDR, but the biggest thing is it doesn't have a glare right now. Pomage, like one of the most, you know, I don't want to say famous, quintessential, you know, respected snipers,
right,
of the Call of Duty sniping scene, says Tundra is one of the top 5 snipers of all time. I think he maybe said top 3. I think he said,
really?
yeah, he was like that, intervention, and something else.
It's good. It's really good. It kind of has like a different feel, so I'm down to say yes, man.
Yeah.
Especially with the no glint factor, I'm definitely down.
Yep. Hype 63. The DMR's ugly steps.
Now this, this caught the wave where I know a lot of people were trying to gas this gun up, and they were saying it was better than a DMR, yada yada. I don't see it as an A tier weapon. I really don't.
Really?
I don't think so. Unless there's a really good build.
It's super bouncy. Super bouncy.
Super bouncy. And then again, anytime a weapon's bouncing a lot and you're taking shots back from like an AR player, it intensifies the whole situation. It makes it harder.
Yeah, honestly, I would run an Odin over a Type 63.
Same. 100%.
Owl? Scar? I think I would too. I haven't tried the Scar, but it's just the principle that it doesn't have a big enough mag, but I mean, it feels good. Super low B tier?
I'm gonna agree with that. Super low B, I'm down.
I would run the AKs over it though.
Most definitely. 100%. Easily.
Modern Warfare Uzi. Throw the 40, what is it? The 41 AE rounds on there. Killer movement, clean iron sight, nasty B hops.
Yep. For that reason, it's nice. It's pretty good. I don't know though. It's hard to say, but it's hard to say between A or B.
Would you run it over the MP7? A kitted Uzi or a kitted MP7?
For me, I would probably go Uzi because I feel like if it's gonna be my sub, I think the Uzi outguns an MP7 up close.
I agree.
Especially, it's, again, way more agile. For subs, I'm trying to rank them based off mobility is a huge aspect, and then mainly close range because you're not ever busting your subs out at a long distance. So I'm trying to keep them in one category up close, and I think it definitely beats the MP7 in that way.
It kind of has like a shaky iron sight, but it's not. It's like straight up and down shaky. I don't know. It's not like an AK shaky. Like, I know how the Uzi feels when it's shooting, but it's really satisfying. And I can hit mid-range shots with the Uzi that I can't hit with, let's say, like, I don't know, a Bison or even like an MP5.
Right.
Uzi, it's got a weirdly perfect fire rate. I kind of like it.
I'm a big fan. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a big fan. I liked it a lot when it was on ground loot, to be honest.
What do you think? B tier? A tier?
It's hard. I see a lot of people are not agreeing with that at all.
Is it in the same tier as Bullfrog, MP5, AS Val? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure I would rock a kitted Uzi over with a 41 AE rounds. I would rock a kitted Uzi over a kitted MP7.
Agreed.
Last one.
XM4.
They fixed the barrel. It's supposed to be decent now.
I've used it. I used it after the fix. I used it in solos. Pretty
Okay.
good.
Really?
Like, obviously not super good. It's not terrible by any means. It's not terrible. But again, I just don't know how viable that gun's gonna be outside of like a solo environment. I think it could maybe hang a little bit in duos. I just don't. It's definitely not A tier. Definitely, if it's, I would say definitely chalking off A tier for me.
No,
it's
for
hard to
sure,
say
for
between
sure.
B and C, though. It is hard to say between B and C.
I haven't used it. I don't like the iron sight version on the ground that much. Like, I'll get decent damage, but I hate the Cold War iron sights. They're just very jarring to look at. Statistically, I think the AKs are better, but once again, they're absolute shakers.
Yep. I would use the XM4 over the AKs 100%.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I would definitely use it over the Scar.
Really?
Definitely would use it over the Scar 100%. So it's hard.
I love the Scar iron sight. Those are so clean.
I know, they are very clean. They're super, super clean.
Slap it 2 times on it and it's B tier. The buff makes it low A. Oh, maybe I need to try it out after the buff.
Yeah, I'm definitely suggest trying it out. It's actually not that bad. It was pretty good. It was pretty decent. I'm still probably, for me, using an Odin over it.
I think so.
I think XM4 is definitely over Scar 100%.
Especially mag capacity.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right, chats. Is there anything egregiously wrong here? What are we off on? FFAR, AUG, AMAX, CAR, MAC-10, DMR, Tundra. That all feels good. M16 is almost as good as the AUG. Everyone's saying Kilo. Ram is in S tier. 2 times, J-God. 2 times for sure high B. Almost no shot. You were using an Uzi and quads with a 32 round mag. Yeah, that's true.
Very true.
But the movement though, do I have time? I mean, I can get at least 2 downs, maybe 3 downs.
Definitely
but I mean,
2.
like the per bullet damage of the Uzi, like, yeah, I got a 60 round mag at an MP7, but I'm shooting Tic Tacs at him. Oh no, why did I ask chat?
Dude, I know. It's going to be so conflicting. I see a lot of people are saying, I see like Kilo is like a heavy one. I see a lot of people, Kilo's too high. A lot of people I've seen a lot of Kilos too high.
I don't think it's better than the, okay, so I'll put it on the other than the MP5. I would still rock a Kilo over a Bruin, and a Kilo over a PKM, and a Kilo over a Stoner. Wouldn't you?
I think so. I think so, just for the mobility, but also again, we're like very mobile players, so it's like hard. Because never in a million years are we gonna grab something that's gonna slow us down if we're trying to hunt a ton of kills.
But if you were to run around with, you know, your MAC-10 for high mobility, and then you see someone on a cross and switch to the PKM, that thing is
True. It's gonna delete faster than the Kilo.
smacking them, yeah.
It's definitely gonna delete faster than that Kilo.
But if you're in a mid-range gunfight and you're like swinging around with MAC-10, MAC-10 runs out of ammo, and you're gonna need to reach out with a Kilo, you can b-hop that corner and get some shots in with a Kilo. You're not b-hopping, you're literally breaking your ankles if you try to b-hop with a PKM.
True.
Like,
Very true.
you guys are pissed. Everyone hates the Kilo.
I know. I think it's just like, I don't know. It's hard. I haven't used it in a minute, obviously, but I just know that that gun, even back in the day, was good. It was a beamer, but it definitely was not like by no means deleting people. So now if it's even nerfed even more, it's tough to say where it could be at, man. I'm going to be honest. I don't run into too many players on the map rocking a Kilo anymore. I really don't.
It's true. I honestly, I would take probably a Bruin over a Kilo, maybe.
I think what the thing is with a Kilo is it's very easy to use. I think that's the main like draw to a kilo is like anybody can pick it up and feel like they're beaming with it.
Right.
I think that's the main thing of why people love the kilo so much, because it's just like it's usable by anybody, and anybody can be really good with it. But no, man. I think the M4 should actually be over the kilo now that we're looking at it, man.
I moved it back up.
Okay, I like that.
Because I feel really good with an M4A1 in my hands. A Cold War MP5, I do not feel as good with in my hands. Even though statistically it may be great, I feel damn good with an M4 in my hand and damn good with a Grau in my hand.
Yep. I definitely agree.
I can't move Kilo to B tier. I just can't. Because I'm not putting it on the same tier as an M13. Not put it on the same tier as an AUG, 5.56, XM4, SCAR. It's better than that. I feel like super low A tier.
True. And now looking at it, man, I wonder, what are your thoughts again on the SCAR? Looking at the Bs in comparison to the SCAR. You think it's in a good spot still?
Mag size is the only thing that's hurting me. I haven't used it with a scope before, like a VLK, so I'm not sure. Are you thinking it's like top C tier? Is that what you're saying?
Now I'm thinking, yeah, because just looking at, just in my mind, comparing it to like the Odin,
M13, yeah.
M13, it's tough. It's really, really tough. Because again, dude, I can't even tell you the last time I ran across someone using a SCAR either, man.
I agree. SCAR's good. It's just the ammo size is too limited in every mode. 30 round mag? Are you kidding me? That's one mid-range knock and a thirst before you have to switch. Maybe 2 knocks.
You literally just upped like, yeah, you just upped on like a lot of G fuel, bro. Like a ton. You just got a huge care package.
HDR is better than Tundra. I ran through the stats, man. It's not. This is coming from old school HDR like loyalist. Watch Cloakzy's M13 play and it may change your mind. Cloakzy is one of the best FPS players in the world and not an accurate representation of the meta Warzone community. I agree he's nuts with it, but he wouldn't hang in a 2v2 tournament with an M13 right now. I mean, his FPS skills would carry him. He carries that gun much farther than it should go.
Exactly. Like if he wasn't using it, I do not think we would not even be having a conversation about the M13. That's the only thing that kind of confused. I think him using it kind of confuses people to make them think it's better than it is.
That'd be like watching Swag's Odin video where Swag dropped like a 40 kill game with an Odin and being like, nope, you should watch Swag's Odin gameplay. It's S tier.
Yeah, it's like, well, careful.
I think this is good. Chad, is there anything else that is grossly off? I think we're good. I think
it's pretty decent, man. I think it's a pretty solid list.
That Uzi is sus. But I mean, it's like Fennec has the same problem. No one's talking about the Fennec. Fennec has a limited mag capacity.
True.
And they're right in the same boat. M16 above DMR IMO. That's actually something to talk about.
M16's pretty good.
What if you win M16 is now there and DMR is in the perfect hands that DMR is a great gun. Top right. A tier.
I think that's a fair trade. I think that's a good switch, honestly.
M16 is S if AUG is S, but it's not top S. I agree with that. I can agree with that. That was a good flip. Good call.
Yep, that was a really good flip.
MP7 over Uzi. What would I pick up if I saw it on the ground? A 32 round 41 AE or a 60 round MP7.
I get the MP7's a lot more versatile. So if you want to say it's better because of that reason, for sure. But I think the Uzi's better than the Fennec. Because again, dude, the only reason the Fennec is even talked about is because how good it is close. But as soon as it gets anywhere outside of that close range, I do not want a Fennec in my hands.
And it kind of shakes too.
Yeah, exactly.
See, the nice thing about a 60 round mag is you can kind of like pre-fire some stuff or like hit some tap shots. But if it is someone's running through my doorway and I know I have to take shots at them, I want an Uzi in my hand over an MP7.
Agreed.
I know I'm gonna have to reload sooner, and it's gonna have to play it a little bit smarter. But 32 rounds, I mean, I got a 45 round MP5 in the A tier. You know?
Yeah, that's actually really true. It's tough, man.
I like it. I've dropped some bombs with the 41 A Uzi. I'm calling it. All right. GG's.
It stays. GG's.
And then we have a triple S tier, and it's called melee. So
the best in the game.
Yeah.
Always melee first.
Throw that in there with some stopping power and and dead silence.